Good morning and welcome. It is Monday morning, the 16th of December 2024. Thank you so much for joining me this morning. My name is Jenny McCormac. I am an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator and I'm based in the market town of Brackley, which is in Northamptonshire, and that's here in the UK. Thank you so much for joining me this morning. If you're watching live, do say hi. It's always nice to know who's watching with us. And if you're watching on replay or catch up, whether that's here on Facebook or subsequently on YouTube, excuse me, then pop anything in the comments. If you have any questions or queries, pop those in there too. I do monitor those on a regular basis. Occasionally they slip through the net. So apologies. You can always message me separately if you need a specific answer. At the end of each year, I always like to do a little desk calendar featuring these little tear-off calendars. Last year I got some really nice square ones. I was unable to locate those this year, so we just have the standard ones. And we're going to be using this set of newly released papers. You may recognise some of these papers because they were produced 1 to 2 years ago. I can't actually remember, but they were only available in black and white, and they've been reissued in a coloured version, and those colours are Night of Navy, Lost Lagoon and Old Olive. And what I like about these is that you have one floral side and then a pattern side, which I thought was perfect for the desk calendar, because you can choose whether you want it for somebody who likes florals or somebody who would prefer the patterned paper. So there's 2 each of Old Olive, Lost Lagoon and Night of Navy. So those are the pattern sides, and these are the floral sides, and there's nothing to stop you colouring in the floral elements if you would like. So we've got some nice bold flowers, but we've also got some smaller ones. These are also the papers that I'm using for our December class in a box. So in order to make excuse me, the most of the papers, I'm going to cut these at 10 centimetre widths, and the actual panel that we're going to put on will be 10 by 10, and that means that you can get 9 calendars out of each sheet. And I'll be doing these at Coffee and Card today, Tuesday and Friday, and everybody will be able to do 2 calendars if they wish. These are the matching pieces of cardstock. So I'm not sure which one I'm going to do. I really don't know. Right, let's do the Night of Navy here. So I'm just going to do one, and I'll give you the measurements. Obviously you can vary this according to how much paper you have and how much cardstock you have. So good morning to Catherine. Yes, I coloured them, especially the black and white ones, last time round. And I know you were doing some colouring on similar papers, weren't you? Perfectly Penned, I think it was, on Saturday. So let me just cut this paper down first. So I'm hoping I've calculated these correctly. And the reason I've done it at 10 centimetres is, to, as I say, to make the most of the papers. So, and it also means I can cut these down in preparation, and there'll be just a little bit left over. So these panels are 10 by 10, and these will obviously all fit in a standard envelope. Okay, so I'm going to use the Night of Navy cardstock. And this is going to be 10.5 centimetres wide, and that again is to make the best use of the cardstock, because that is half a piece of card. and then we're going to cut this to 27 centimeters. So normally this is 29.7, so I'm going to cut this to 27, and then we're going to score this at 2 centimeters. So from one end, make sure my cutting blade is out of the way, going to score this at 2 centimeters, and I'm just going to turn it round then because it's easy to do the two that way. So 2 centimeters, 4 centimeters, 6 centimeters, and then 16.5, which conveniently is the next large bar along from that, the edge of the main cutter. Okay, this is where I find out whether that is correct or not. Let me write those on a bright post-it note so you can see them. Let's find a marker. So this is 10.5 centimeters by 27. So that's that long panel. There's only one way you can cut that out of the card. And then we're going to score at 2, 4, 6 and 16.5, and then your panel of paper that's going to go on there is 10 by 10, and these are all centimeters. Okay, I'll lift that up so you can see it. So 10.5 by 27, score 2, 4, 6, 16.5, that's going from one end, and then your panel is 10 by 10. So let's see whether this works. So I've got this folded down here. That's going to be our, that could be our front or back, and then this is going to fold up, down and up. So we end up with a little easel. And then if I've calculated it right, which I have, that's going to fold over, and we're going to attach those together, and then you get a nice little easel that's going to sit nicely on your desk. You could make this a little bit bigger. I guess now I've trimmed it down, you could make that 2.5, 5 and 6.5. No, 2.5, 5 and 7.5 if you wanted a bigger easel piece, but that will just sit quite nicely. You don't want it too big, you don't want it too small that it topples over, but that's quite a good fit. Now I like to use the front as the one with the fold, as opposed to this one here that has the seam, because if you don't quite get that right, it doesn't matter if it's on the back. Okay, so I tend to keep that one as the front with the elements underneath there. And it's just as easy to put your backing papers on before you fold it all together. So I've got the patterned paper or the floral paper, and then my little calendar is going to go on top. So let's pop that down. Now on the back you could put a piece of white card for your message, or you could use another piece of paper, entirely up to you. So obviously if you'd chosen one of the other pieces, you could have coloured it in. There's not really a right or wrong way for these florals, to be honest. And I apologise for choosing Night of Navy, because it's a little bit difficult for you to see the score lines of where that's being placed. But so we've got 0.5 centimetre difference between this layer and the outside layer, so it's 2.5 millimetres all the way around. You could make that smaller, thinking about it, to give you more of a border. It's entirely up to you. So to show you how this bit goes together, what I like to do is make sure that I'm folding this flat like that on the table. Don't try and do it up in the air, because it's very easy for it to go slightly wonky, and then when you try and flatten it down, it doesn't sit flat. And the idea of this is you can pop it into an envelope and send that off. So you can use wet glue, you could use tape. I'm just going to use wet glue, and I'm just going to put it on this panel here. Don't go too close to the edge, because obviously your glue will move a little bit, like so. And as you'll have heard me say, if you follow me for a little while, especially when you're sticking cardstock to cardstock, if you allow that to sit for 10 seconds, 20 seconds, then the glue goes a little bit more tacky, and it will hold the card much quicker when you put the two layers together. Okay, so I think that will be fine. So I'm going to fold that over and keep the whole thing nice and flat on my table. Apply some pressure to that, like so. And that will hold straight away, as you can see. And so it folds flat for posting, and that will sit nicely on the desk. And now I can add this element in. Now, if you're doing it for yourself, you can decorate this even more. So you could fussy cut some of the flowers out of here. You could die cut some flowers or shapes. You could add some ribbon around the bottom. Just watch, if you're posting it, that you don't add too much thickness. I'm just wondering. You used to have that lovely Night of Navy with the silver. I think I've only got, I think this is black. It is black, but if you have any of that lovely Night of Navy ribbon, you can easily just pop the ribbon in the back here and wrap it around. Actually our white and silver ribbon would work, wouldn't it, for that? Just remember, if you're posting it, you don't want to go too thick with your layers. Let's just cut that off there. And I'm not going to glue this in place, because then you can choose whether to put it higher or lower. You can spin the bow round if you want. Nice and simple. I'm always a bit predictable, because I always do this in our last coffee and card session. So apologies to anybody who's been with me for the last X amount of years. But people do seem to like them. I find it very handy, you know, to have a desk calendar just to hand. If I've got an offcut of Night of Navy, I might pop that on there. Let me have a look. Just going to put this behind there just to make it stand out a little bit more. Let's just measure my piece here. So that's 7.5 centimeters by 5, give or take. So I'm going to make this 8. By 5.5, like so. have a look and see. Just to make it stand out. I think it just depends on which papers you've chosen. Yeah, I like that. So that's going to go on the back. Sometimes I buy these that have self-adhesive backings. These ones this year obviously aren't. And you can get most of these at online or hobby shops. The thing is, they do tend to go out of stock pretty quickly. I know our local stationers has them, and they ran out of stock pretty quickly. And if you get different ones, then just measure this size and add 1/2 centimetre on for your panel. I'm going to pop that on there. I think I'll pop it on with dimensionals, and we're done. So nice easy project, great for colleagues' gifts. There we go. And you could bling this up, you could do your colouring, whatever you would like to do. So because I've got my ribbon there, I'm putting it slightly high centre. There we go. And that's it. There's our little desk calendar. So it sits really nicely, as you can see. That's what it looks like from the side. And that will fit. You fit that in a standard envelope. I wonder if it will fit in our square envelopes that I have here. Sadly, Stampin' Up at the moment don't have square envelopes. And it does. Oh, that was a stroke of luck, wasn't it? So all ready to go. So there we are, mini desk calendar, really nice and simple to do. Those are the measurements I use. So the card is 10.5 by 27 centimetres, scored that at 246 and 16.5, coming in from one side, and then the panel here is 10 by 10. So I could add another panel on the back. I could use the reverse side of that, or you could put a square white panel. You could stamp on that. You could add your own sentiment or a message on the reverse. So there we go. Thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed that little project. I look forward to doing that with everybody at Coffee and Card this week. And we also have some Christmas lunches. What's lovely about our Coffee and Card sessions is the social aspect and the friendship that we've built up. So we tend to meet either before Coffee and Card or after Coffee and Card for a bite to eat at our venues, and it's a great opportunity just to catch up and see each other, wish each other well before Christmas. This will be my last week of Coffee and Card. I will probably pop online next week to show you some of the lovely cards I received already. Might do that on Thursday. It's my birthday on Monday, so I may or may not. I have apparently got a busy day planned for me, so I may pop on Tuesday and show you the handmade birthday cards that I received. So thank you everyone. Do take care. Enjoy the rest of your day. Enjoy your week. Take it easy. And if you celebrate Christmas, I do hope you have a great time. And I look forward to catching up and crafting with you really soon. Bye for now.